7 of 9 is great, but Jeri Ryan's best Star Trek Voyager performance was a different character after becoming a main character on Star Trek Picard so many years after Star Trek Voyager ended. Jeri Ryan's 7 of 9 was solidified as one of the best characters from the Sci-Fi franchise, but Ryan has actually given an even better performance as a different Star Trek character. When the Star Trek Voyager cast disbanded after the show ended in 2001, Ryan wasn't part of the franchise until her 2020 return as 7 in the Star Trek Picard cast. However, she actually played another Star Trek character 24 years ago, and she did an incredible job. Ryan made her franchise debut in Star Trek Voyager Season 4, Episode 1, Scorpion Part 2. Although she quickly became a replacement for Kez after Jennifer Lyon's departure, 7 was initially introduced as one of the show's many villains. She slowly regained certain human traits, but it wasn't until Star Trek Picard that 7 notably shook her Borg demeanor and was able to conduct herself more naturally. That being said, Ryan was able to flex different acting muscles in Star Trek Voyager by stepping into the shoes of another character. Star Trek Voyager Season 7, Episode 7, Body and Soul, briefly allowed Jeri Ryan to play Voyager's EMH, a role usually filled by Robert Picardo. Interestingly, Picardo was available and does feature in certain scenes of the episode, as the recasting was a fun gimmick rather than a necessity. As the Doctor, Ryan was able to behave far more flamboyantly and gave a thoroughly convincing performance as Voyager's holographic Doctor as he inhabited 7's form. Until then, Ryan's acting choices as 7 had generally been understandably subtle, so it was great to see such a left turn for the actress. The Doctor had taken refuge within 7 by uploading his program into her Borg implants without warning and initially without her consent, as he hid from a race of anti-holographic beings. Under the control of the Doctor, 7's body indulged in delights and sensations not usually afforded to his character due to being a hologram, and Ryan had to react as 7 later in the episode. It was a creative premise that resulted in a surprising level of comedy. Speaking with the BBC, Ryan has stated it was really fun to play something so different from 7. Huge portions of the script of Body and Soul are written to make the audience laugh, and Jeri Ryan imitating Picardo's Doctor so perfectly and in such a bizarre scenario really helps accentuate all the comedic moments. Alongside the laughs, the episode also engages in a surprising amount of world building. Specifically, how the Doctor's program integrates and interacts with biological matter via a Borg interface is an incredibly compelling aspect of the story. Of course, the Doctor's character arc is something that progresses throughout the entirety of Star Trek Voyager. On the other hand, with Body and Soul falling in the final season of the show, the writers were running out of ways to continue the Doctor's growth, as he was already about as human as he could realistically become. Thankfully, Star Trek Voyager found a way to add a new wrinkle to Picard's character before the show ended, while also adding to 7's experiences many years before her franchise comeback in 2020. When fans think of Jeri Ryan's portrayal in Star Trek Voyager, the name 7 of 9 immediately comes to mind. As the former Borg drone who was assimilated as a child and later liberated by the crew of the USS Voyager, 7 of 9 became one of the most iconic characters in the Star Trek universe. Her struggle to regain her humanity while dealing with the complexities of her Borg past made her a fan favorite. However, as incredible as Ryan's portrayal of 7 was, her best performance on Voyager came not from 7 of 9, but from an entirely different character, her portrayal of a split personality in the Season 4 episode, The Raven. In The Raven, 7 of 9 is haunted by memories of her time as a human child before her assimilation by the Borg. But instead of simply portraying her usual role of 7 struggling with these memories, Ryan delivered a stunning performance as the child version of herself, Annika Hansen, and captured a duality that elevated the emotional intensity of the episode. The episode explored the depth of 7's internal conflict, her fractured sense of identity, and the haunting trauma of losing her parents to the Borg. Jeri Ryan's ability to balance these personalities within one episode was a demonstration of her acting range. 7 of 9 was often written as a cold, logical character, yet in The Raven, Ryan brings out a fragile vulnerability, portraying Annika's innocence and terror while facing the trauma of her assimilation. It wasn't just the contrast between Seven's detached demeanor and Annika's raw emotions. It was Ryan's subtle shifts that made the transformation between personalities feel seamless and, most importantly, deeply human. There's a particular scene where Seven becomes consumed by flashbacks of her childhood as Annika. These moments, filled with panic and confusion, give the audience a glimpse of who she was before she became the Borg drone we know. As the memories overwhelm her, Ryan transitions from Seven's composed, methodical nature into the wide-eyed fear of a child lost in a nightmare. The body language, the change in vocal tone, and the fear in her eyes are so distinct that it almost feels like an entirely different actress inhabiting the role of Annika. This was not the Seven of Nine who learned the value of friendship or who struggled with emotions later in the series. This was Annika, a terrified child who witnessed the violent destruction of her family's life. Ryan plays her with a tenderness that contrasts sharply with Seven's rigid persona. In this performance, Ryan allowed viewers to feel the vulnerability that Seven was always hiding beneath her armor of logic and efficiency. The audience sees the trauma that shaped Seven of Nine, making her journey from Borg drone to human even more compelling. What made this portrayal so remarkable is that, while Seven is typically associated with the exploration of identity and emotion, it was through Annika that Jeri Ryan was able to fully realize the extent of that theme. In a way, Annika represented the suppressed core of Seven, the human part that was buried deep beneath her Borg programming. The struggle between Annika and Seven wasn't just a plot device, it was the essence of Seven's arc. Ryan captured that beautifully by giving Annika a distinct voice while maintaining continuity with Seven's established character traits. While Seven of Nine's character arc was extraordinary in itself, showcasing Ryan's talent for portraying a character slowly rediscovering her humanity, the Annika moments in The Raven offered a glimpse into the emotional foundation of Seven's internal conflict. The scenes allowed Ryan to stretch beyond Seven's emotional constraints and display a far greater emotional range than her character typically permitted. Moreover, this performance set the stage for some of the most important emotional beats for Seven of Nine throughout the series. The vulnerability Ryan showed in portraying Annika's trauma would resonate in later episodes, where Seven's struggle to understand her own feelings and form relationships became a recurring theme. By embodying the human child within the Borg drone, Ryan gave depth to Seven's future interactions with Captain Janeway, the Doctor, and the rest of the crew. The emotional stakes for Seven were always higher because viewers had seen the human cost of her assimilation. It is no wonder that Seven of Nine became such a beloved character in the Star Trek universe. Ryan's portrayal of her was nuanced, layered, and emotionally resonant. However, it was her portrayal of the fragmented Annika Hansen that truly highlighted Jeri Ryan's versatility as an actress. In The Raven, Ryan transformed a powerful sci-fi narrative into a poignant exploration of trauma and identity, proving that her best performance in Voyager went beyond Seven's cold, analytical exterior to the core of who she once was. In the end, Seven of Nine may be Jeri Ryan's signature role, but it was Annika Hansen who revealed the true brilliance of her performance in Star Trek Voyager. The complexity of navigating two identities, the innocence lost, and the struggle to reconcile a fractured past made Annika more than just a memory. She became a crucial part of Seven's emotional journey, all thanks to Ryan's remarkable portrayal.